Shalom Aleichem, Mishnah Yomi for Zayin Adar. That's Mazel Tov. It's the birthday of Moshe Rabbeinu and the yahrzeit of Moshe Rabbeinu, Zayin Adar. We are holding in chapter 7 of Shevuot, Mishnayot 4 and 5 today. Again, explaining these cases where rabbinically we allow someone to make an oath and then collect, even though that's not the biblical way oaths work. Mishnah Daled, Kishenegdo Chashud Ala Shevuah. Somebody who their opponent in court, the other side in court, is suspected of making false oaths. Ketzad, for example, Achat Shevuot Edut. He once made a Shevuot Edut falsely and got in trouble for that. Remember that he claimed he didn't know testimony. Achat Shevuot Pigadon, or he claimed falsely he did not have somebody else's deposit. Afil Shevuot Shav, or he swore a Shevuot Shav, a vain oath. We can see he doesn't take oaths seriously, so we don't trust him to use an oath in court to advance his claim. Now the Mishnah adds to this category, Haya echad mehem, if one of the parties in court was misachek bekuvia, he was a gambler, he was playing with dice. Now we might remember this from Sanhedrin chapter 3, Mishnah 3. It's a rabbinical disqualification to being a judge or a witness. And the issue there is that he's basically effectively stealing other people's money through the gambling, asmachta lo kanya, as we explained back in chapter 3 of Sanhedrin. Umalvid beribit, or he lends money with interest to Jews. Umafriche yonim, he is racing pigeons. Back in Sanhedrin, we explained, the Gemara says it could also mean someone who uses his own birds to lure birds off of other people's property, a form of theft. Sochre shvit, he does business with shvit produce, shmita year, sabbatical year produce. So the rabbis did not trust such people to make an oath, and therefore shekenegdo nishba venotel, his opponent in court can make an oath instead and collect payment, because we won't let him make an oath to be exempt from paying. But the Mishnah notes, Hayu shnehem chashudim. What if both parties have some kind of disqualification where we don't trust them to make an oath in court? So chazra hashvua limkoma. The shvua goes back to its original place. So really the defendant would be allowed to make the oath and be putter and not pay anything, because that's the biblical level default. Divrei Rebbe Yossi. These are the words of Rebbe Yossi. Other Mefarshim in the Gemara, they explain, goes back to its place, meaning goes back to Har Sinai, that the judges can no longer judge this case on the basis of a Shevuah. If a Shevuah would be required to resolve the case, neither one can make a Shevuah, the judges can't resolve the case. Rabbi Meir Omer Yachlok. Rabbi Meir says no one makes a Shevuah, but instead they're holek, they divide evenly the amount that is outstanding, the amount that they're fighting over. Let's go on to Mishnah Hey. V'hachenvoni ol pinkaso, a storekeeper on his ledger, on his account books. Ketzad, how does this work? Lo sheyomar lo, it's not a case where the storekeeper is telling somebody who did business with, Katuv ol pinkasi, it's written in my ledger, sheta chayav li 200 zuz, that you still owe me 200 zuz. So this is not a case where we would allow the shopkeeper to make an oath and collect the 200 zuz, because he could have simply written that in his ledger. Unless he had witnesses or other support for his claim, we wouldn't allow him to make an oath and collect. Ela, rather, this is what the case is. Amar lo, a balabait, a regular guy, told the shopkeeper, 10 livni satayim chitin, give to my son 2 seah of wheat. He's coming to the store to pick it up, so you'll give him the wheat and I'll pay you later. Or he says, 10 lepoali besela maut, give my workers a sela of coins as their schar, or give them credit in the store as payment, and I will pay you back later. So the chanvani, the storekeeper, has a deal with the balabait to give the merchandise or the money. Hu omer natati, and he says, the storekeeper says, yes, I indeed gave it to your son or your worker. Hen omrim, and the son of the worker says, lo natalu, we didn't get anything from you. Hu nishba v'notel, the shopkeeper can swear to the balabait that he had the first deal with and get paid. V'hen nishbain v'notlin, and the workers also can make a shvuah they didn't get paid to the balabait, to their employer, and also get paid. In the Gemara, they explained that we would have both parties who claim that they're owed money make the Shevuot in front of each other to the Baal Habayit, the idea being that the one who is perhaps lying or mistaken is going to retract. Amar ben Nanas says, Ketzad, he says, how can we do this? Elu bain lidei Shevuot shav, ve'elu bain lidei Shevuot shav. Either one side is going to be making a false oath, a vain oath, or the other side is going to be making a vain oath. Somebody is wrong here. Somebody got paid, and they're both claiming they didn't get paid. Elahu notel shelo b'shvua, v'hen notlin shelo b'shvua. We don't want any shvua, but we're still going to have to pay everybody to resolve the doubt. So the Baal Habayit will have to pay the chenvani, the storekeeper, on the basis of his ledger, and he'll also have to pay his employees on the basis that he owes them the money and they have a valid claim they didn't get paid, but no one will make an oath according to Ben Nanas. Yashar Kochachem, a Freilichen Zayin Adar, and good Shabbos.